Welcome to Shop Talk, where you get my honest opinion on current events, life, and sports. Let's get into it. This Larry June album, that came out Friday. To me, in my opinion, as one of his better bodies of work. Um, Definitely got some hits on there with the intros with Wallow, giving his spiel, and he going to the record, and you have one with Janae Aiko. That's pretty cool. California Dream, Three Calculators. The one with Music Soul Child, the legend Music Soul Child, on there. To me, was one of the better songs of the album. To me, Larry June has progressed as long as I've been listening to him. I think I've been listening to him the last 3 years. I think I saw something where this is 17th album in the last few years. So I say, whoo, that's a crazy work ethic. I know he had the album with 2 Chainz that I love. He got a few hits that I listen to all the time, like 6 a.m. in Sausalito. So I'm just happy for the man. I mean, to me, he had the best album that came out Friday, and that's saying a lot because Rose album came out as well. I like the song with him, Jeezy and Don Toliver, for sure. I don't know what number it's on, but I know it's Maybach Music. So, some good music. Pluto. How could I forget Pluto? I forgot to speak about him last week. His 12th #1 album. He's tied with Ye and Eminem for the most #1 albums all time. So when we talking top 5 and all this stuff here, I mean, his numbers don't lie. I know he had some discourse with a young boy, I think a week or two ago. I think he said he was just trying to hit on the rollout. Pluto just different, man. To me, he can't do no bad in my eyesight. He just different. And so, he just works. And I saw his son where he was saying he didn't really like to have my daddy got to get the yes men from around. Well, I would have cut y'all, brother. I would have cut y'all because I'd have told you don't play with me in front of the world. I take care of you. I don't know if you got some kind of resentment through your mama or whatever, but your daddy one of the greatest artists all time. He just tied with Ye and Eminem. 2 real spitters. So, sometimes you gotta scale it back and realize who your parents is. You might just think, well, you just my parent, you my daddy. Your dad is a worldwide renowned artist. So you gotta watch how you speak on things. Just because you may not like it don't mean others may not like it. Sometimes it's best to kind of let the album play a few days and then you say, okay, I like this. This pretty cool. When I first heard it, I ain't like it. Sometimes you gotta let things kind of grow on you, for your own understanding. What else? ESPN. I mean, you're kind of going down the drain. You're becoming obsolete. I mean, you're trying to have everybody stream everything. You're losing consumers every day. And so yesterday, show you how horrible y'all are and unprofessional. Why would you let Ryan Clark go while the show was going on, like when it went to break? Like, why did you even have a man come to work if you knew you was gonna fire him yesterday? It just reeked unprofessional. But I don't expect anything less. I'd expect stuff like that to happen, but you would think that even though you're tanking, you still got that horrible guy Rex Ryan working for y'all, who's steady hating on Shador. Shador minding his business, working out, and all that. You didn't see all that in the documentary, huh? But you mad that he has a personality. You must then know his daddy. Maybe y'all was watching someone else, because Prime was flamboyant. He talked it, but he walked it. So I'm trying to figure out why you trying to put this young man in a box. Really and truly has a case against NFL like Colin Kaepernick. To me, that's collusion, because he should have been #1. No more than 2. in the last round's draft. When you look at these guys that been drafted, like I don't see the moxie like Shador. Yeah, he has some things he has to work on, but he was not a fifth round pick. We all know that. If his family wanted to, they could audit the books and see where y'all done this on purpose. Even the owner wasn't a fan of the pick. But Andrew Berry, he called the shot. That's the black GM, you know. And so these guys really just be mad about everything. So ESPN, I see you about to pay Pat McAfee $60 million. That's why I was telling people he waited to Stephen A got paid, and then he said, I'm gonna go 3 times more than what they gave him. They about to give him 60. They only gave Stephen A 20. You know, I say that's crazy, you know, because the top coon, you know, he always makes sure the ratings is good and all that there. But once Pat McAfee came along, them people started prioritizing him more. And so that's understandable. You know who run that place. We ain't even they definitely don't look like me. And so when you see moves like that happening, that's letting you know that things is just bad. You real unprofessional. Like, why would you let the man go in the middle of the broadcast instead of just telling them, hey, you know, Ryan, you might not want to come in today. We already cutting back. We about to start doing the layoffs. Say the layoffs is supposed to start today, but they started yesterday with him. It's like they embarrassed him on purpose. You know, people going to certain things he done said over the years. Them guys have the right to tell a guy, you can't tell me what's happening on the field, and I played the game. I don't see nothing wrong with that. Say, homie, this, I know you on a panel with us, but we not the same. That's all. I don't see nothing what Ryan did wrong. Like, homie, I've been in the trenches. I know if you saw how Ryan played football, there's no way he shouldn't be walking around with some kind of CTE. He was a headhunter. And so guys put their lives on the line to take care of their family. And you got guys on the panel who've never played sports trying to tell a guy what it's like on the field and all this stuff here. You know, people got to realize just because we on the same type of time, no me and you the same. You know, you got the sheeps, and then you had the wolves. You know, so people got to understand where people at with it right now, especially right now in this time that we in. You know, you kind of really have to have your own thing going because, you know, man, you could be working for somebody, and when they make their cuts, they not worrying about your bills and your family. They could care less. They gonna say, we did what's best for the business, and you already know when they look like us, they don't have no problem letting us go. You know, they don't have a problem letting us go. They so hateful and mad at everything we do. You pay attention to everything we do. You really can't do nothing without us when you think about it. And so it's like the same thing every day. And I thought about something yesterday. I was scrolling and I was saying how, you know, I don't even think people even realize what's going on. They thinking, oh, it's gonna get better. You know, the government going. I don't think you really understand what's going on. They running a Ponzi scheme. It's really a Ponzi scheme right now. You know, and so that's what people not really understand. Ain't no risk. This not what they're gonna come and give us checks and all that stuff. No, wow. This empire is collapsing. You know, empire normally lasts for 250 years. America is a corporation. That's exactly what it is. And when it's insolvent from what they're saying, so now they're depending on the taxpayers. And you know who that is? The working class. So how would they give us something back and they actually depending on us? This is a Ponzi scheme. Everything. You think about China got a 90% home ownership rate. We one of the wealthiest countries in the world. And you starving your citizens. You're doing everything under the sun to keep them held back behind ownership. You're selling them everything. Everything is a scam. The 401k people gonna find out about all that. Stock market, everything is a scam. So this ain't the time for people to be making posts about, oh, stop asking people for money and all this stuff. Man, everybody is hurting financially. And whatever money you got saved, when you see what them white folks got, you will really realize, homie, they got the game in a chokehold. They print the money. They over the Federal Reserve Bank. They got systemic stuff in place. I don't even think you understand what they done to the world. So this ain't no better time for humanity to stick together, especially black people. This the best time to figure it out and realize, man, let's stop playing on the internet with one another and realize, man, this is serious, man. We heading to the Great Depression. And that was in 1930. So we got to really get ourselves together, get ourselves in the game. I don't think elections going to do nothing. I think people still thinking of the two-party system, and you're not understanding when some collapse, and that means it's dismantling. And so they're willing to do anything to stay in power. That's what people got to realize. No, I'm willing to do anything, even if I got to kill American citizens. That's what happens when dictators go out. They don't want to give up the power because they're going to be held accountable. They don't want to be their last days of their lives in a nasty jail cell. So they'll wreak havoc. They're devils. I always say wars generate money for demonic entities. Wait till we find out the real casualties in the war. If you think it's just 13 people, I got a brownstone I won't sell you. They look at the military as cattle. They just had some guys got killed the other day. They don't care about poverty-stricken kids or just people. They don't look at you as human no more. So the way they lure you in is they tell you, I'm going to help you further your education. And you know people probably really join to further their education. But that's the way you money launder and do the human trafficking. So you reel people in with the bonuses and stuff like that. So now you at a war where it's like Putin them not trying to end it either. You think about the sanctions that America put on Russia. Russia was going broke. So now that's how he's able to reap the benefit of what's going on with the war. That is how he's able to reap the benefit. Since you put the sanctions on me, plus I have nothing but blackmail on dude, and everybody know who he is, and so he is between a rock and a hard place. Netanyahu and Putin have dirt on him, and many politicians. But this a global thing. It's just not America. This turned into like, you got celebrities that we love and watch and admire from time to time. They all on there, you know. And so I think people don't realize, they thinking, okay, maybe this like the 2008 recession where Obama endured a horrible economy by Bush, and they was able to give us stimulus and we shook back. Everything is unaffordable. So economics said the other day, you know, right now the minimum wage should be $66 an hour. I say that sounds about right. I even done the math. I say that's $10,000 a month. You don't need no overtime. If you're paying bi-weekly, it's still $10,000 a month. So you imagine with child care and everything being so high, imagine somebody saying, I make enough, well, my significant other could be at home, just depending on who it is, whether the husband or the wife. And that's enough where you can make an honest living. Plus you have a savings. There's really no debt no more. People get out of debt. You really won't have that. So banks wouldn't like it. The people that print the money wouldn't like it, but I can't see why we can't have it. Y'all done did everything under the sun. Y'all owe the American citizens. This is a Ponzi scheme. This is the same thing Madoff, Macron, Madoff, yeah, that's Bernie Madoff, ran off 950 million. This is exactly what it is. So they actually need us, but the bickering amongst us, that's what keeps them in power. They like, man, they ain't worrying about us. We doing everything under the sun. They on ground zero, making jokes on each other when the joke really on them. It's like people might say, oh man, you update us all the time. You think about they supposed to have a storm heading towards Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi. Like, man, I was telling my mom, I say, I hope it doesn't hit nobody. Everybody is financially just trying to make ends meet. Nobody don't have extra money to go to hotels and all this stuff here. I hope nothing happens. But we know these people gonna do anything to stay in power. They got the wildfires in Canada, smoke all in New York. They talking about false flags in like New York, California, Texas. They don't care long as they're able to stay in power. And that's even if people gotta die, they don't care. The enemy has always been right here, the government. They told us it was other countries and all this stuff here. Now that people tuned into politics and really seeing what's going on, how it affects our lives, the veil has been lifted. You can't really get over on people like that no more unless you willfully ignorant. Like you're willfully ignorant. You think you're gonna be able to work your way out of debt. No, they don't. It's bad right now. You can't just work your way out of debt. You're not supposed to have 2 jobs, 2 and 3 jobs. That's not normal. Once you got things where you got the buy now, pay later for to help you with your rent, that's how you know it's bad. Ain't nothing wrong with buy now, pay later. We all use it. But once you start to implement that with rent, that means it's out of control. And you can't really get loans no more because the credit score not really as well as it used to be. So you gotta make it do what it do. It's gonna sacrifices have to be made. Somebody might have to work and the other one gonna have to be at home with the kids because child care is unaffordable as well. That's why I say the biggest ism is classism. Yeah, racism gonna be here. That ain't going nowhere. The biggest ism is classism. Because if people are able to make $66 an hour, that's over 120 grand a year. And you got to get the taxes down because that's theft. Taxes ain't nothing but theft. You're stealing people labor. I saw CJ McCollum speaking about the finances as far as guys with the NBA and saying, he was breaking it down. I said, man, how you go $2 million, then you say you really at 950,000? Like, why you taking that kind of money from people? I'm with the athletes on this one because it's like, yeah, it's a lot of money, but man, you eating a person alive with taxes. They say for every million, it's 300,000. They hitting you with, so you make $1 million, it's really 700,000. They taking 300 of that. So you got people that's really coming into some life-changing money. Like, yo, this is good. This is some decent money. And so you think about it like, man, why you eating people alive with the taxes like that? It's already hard to make a living. So when you finally get to a point in life where you're making millions of dollars, you done made it, and then somebody still taking from you. It's like, it's all part of a Ponzi scheme. The sports gambling, that's all connected. They could predict the winners before the season. People thinking, oh, I'm mad at this player, man, he needed one more rebound on this stuff. No, everything is rigged. Vegas ain't gonna never let you get the ups on them. Everything rigged. So I look at sports gambling as the new crack. It's the new crack. We can compare the fentanyl if we want to. Some people, they just have to have it because you're already working probably 2 jobs. You're barely making it. So you hoping and praying for this extra 5,000 more to kind of get you back to point A. So it could turn into an addiction when you like, I just kind of played it one time and hit, and I just kept playing, and not realizing over time that became a habit. Gambling is an addiction. You actually got to get some help to overcome. So if the game have always been rigged, like the evil geniuses, it's like they really made the dollar the slave master. So people think slavery was over. Now they made the dollar the slave master. Because I know you can't do nothing without it. It's impossible. You would be the homeless. And it's even enslaving the rich and the wealthy. It's everybody has to have it. Nobody's no better. That's why I say when we making jokes on each other, they got people playing with serious bread. Like nobody in your lineage ever seen. So, but a lot of people, you laughing right now, but you gonna cry later, especially in this season. God already saw your heart. He already saw your heart. You're not fooling nobody. So when it happened to you, make sure you don't be on somebody's phone asking them for nothing. Because when you was doing good, you thought it was a joke to laugh at other people's unfortunate situation. So, but going forward, that's why, I saw Boosie telling Ryan Clark this morning, man, do your own thing. That's why he got the pivot. Sometimes you got to have the foresight to see, whoa, I see what you're doing. I saw how you reprimanded me for certain statements I made and all that. So you barely wanted to pay the man. I think they just paid him last year, I think it was. So he did the right thing. Get your bread, take care of your family. You gonna be good. That's what you have your own platform for, so you can speak how you want. They have us bound to them because, once a person reaches a certain level of money, they're gonna upgrade their lifestyle. So a person is like, all right, I kind of had to bite my tongue on that one because I'm the breadwinner of the family. But I've always been somebody, I got to let you know what's happening. I don't care if I need the job to pay my bills, all this stuff here. Because when you think about it, these jobs ain't lasting like they used to anyway. So what's the sense for you to walk on eggshells? But like I say every week, compassion, loving on one another, and stop being divided. Let all walks of life realize the real race is the human race. I'm going to keep doing me. I don't worry about numbers. That stuff that's man-made. You got to learn how to take the power away from things, too. Oh, man, nobody ain't watching my stuff. There's somebody watching you. I promise you. When you doing you and you good at it, unapologetically, like a Ye, you unstoppable. Especially when you realize who you are. And you ain't looking for validation. You like, I know who I am. And once you figure that out, the sky's the limit. Once you figure that out, like, man, I don't need you. I do me. Like I'm supposed to. I'm just 14 years behind all the dream I was talking about 14 years ago. I ain't trying to be like nobody, because when I thought about it, people didn't even know what that word was, a podcast. Always been ahead of the curve. Fashionably, everything. So, in due season, you're going to reap your harvest. You ain't worrying about instant gratification. That comes and goes. Anything that come quick will go. Because you ain't had to work for it. But when you build yourself up, brick by brick, can't nobody come take nothing from you. Because when I didn't have, nobody didn't know me, I was still me. I refuse to live by, die by. So it's me signing off. Like, follow, and subscribe at Shop Talk 84 on YouTube. On Instagram, it's contact_CEO. It's KONTACK_CEO. And on X, that's contact CEO. That's KONTACK CEO. Until next time, Godspeed.